some analysts had the hit to General Motors from tariffs being as high as $10 billion.
Oh,
Wow.
So it did help some, but you still have a 25% tariff on imported vehicles. This does help offset some of the parts tariffs. And I think what GM's hoping for here is that eventually the Trump administration gets trade deals with South Korea, for example, and something new with USMCA, because that's where GM's really taking a big hit here, are those countries in terms of where they get imported vehicles from. And so it's $4 to $5 billion. $2 billion of that is from the vehicles they import, and the rest is parts. So if the auto industry wants to escape a heavy hit from tariffs, there's still a lot more to be done in terms of either resourcing parts or getting some new trade deals.
So, David, is the expectation this kind of a worst case scenario, or is the company positioning that as, hey, this is kind of what we know and this is kind of our best guess?
It's what they know based on the structure of the tariffs right now. So if, let's say, next week, the Trump administration cut a deal to lower tariffs with South Korea, GM gets a couple 100,000 vehicles, all entry-level models, from its factories in Korea. That would lower this burden. If they got something that would reduce the tariffs on the non-US parts in vehicles GM makes in Canada and Mexico, that would also give them some relief. But right now, those are the so-called fentanyl tariffs with Canada and Mexico. Those are still hanging out there. Those are still in force here. So they would need something that would either lower that or get rid of those to really get this burden down, unless they start relocating vehicles and doing things like that.
Hey, David, earlier, the Wall Street Journal reporting that the board at Tesla may have started efforts to take a look at a search for a new chief executive officer to succeed Elon Musk. What's your take on that?
The company denied it. I always wonder about these things when there's a story written with conviction and then a denial with conviction. You do wonder if maybe some people on the board started talking to other executives or executive search firms out there to get some ideas, but it wasn't maybe an official board search. That's me speculating. But look, Elon Musk has a lot of interest here, and this has always been an issue with Tesla shareholders.
Yep.
And this is well before he was in the Trump administration and politically active with Doge. He had the Boring Company, of course, has SpaceX. Then he got Twitter, now X, and he's got Tesla. And then you add into it a big government role. And this is somebody who has a lot of different things going on. And when Tesla starts to struggle, shareholders and the board has to do its fiduciary duty if shareholders are asking questions. Maybe they're asking questions about when this guy is going to come back in the chair. And if he's not, then they need someone who's going to really take a look at getting their sales turned around.